Hello fellow quarantiners and people of the interwebs to the final episode of Corona Diaries. France is slowly going to start removing their restrictions starting May 11th. It's been a bittersweet journey, to say the least, for all of us. I started my quarantine off grateful and lucky enough to be able to spend it with some friends that I absolutely love.
Go Corona! I had a lot of laughs, a lot of fun, a lot of great memories. But I did decide to go back to my apartment. Because before the quarantine, I was too busy to ever be able to spend time with myself. Back in my apartment, I had fewer days and more nights.
As I started conversations with friends that never really ended, drew and painted pieces that never really felt complete, played and sang songs that I never really managed to master. Maybe that has something to do with the fact that this quarantine felt like a lifetime, but also not long enough. But for now, it's time to graduate from AUP and take a step into the real world.
But until then, here's the rest of the Peacock Play team, looking back on their days of quarantine and counting down their days to freedom on the final episode of the Corona Diaries.
Hi guys, so for today's last episode of the Corona Diaries, I'm going to talk to you about my experience with quarantine, the best parts, the worst parts, what I learned, and what I'm looking forward to. The best part of quarantine is that I've had so much time for myself and time to reflect and to learn more about who I am and what I want to do and who I'm going to be. So that was very positive, and I've also had a lot of time to do stuff that I wouldn't normally have time to do if it was school year, like drawing, singing, cooking. So that's also a lot of fun. The hardest part, I'd say, is obviously being far away from my friends who are a huge part of my life and part of my stability. So that was hard, but also being conflicted to yourself is hard too, because you have to spend 24/7 with yourself without any escape. So that was something I had to overcome. Something I've learned is that I always have to do something. I get stressed out when I have nothing to do. I did know it, but it was nice to have stuff to do more than just sit at home and watch TV. And for the future, I mean, I'm excited to get out of quarantine, obviously, but I'm also excited to achieve all the things that I planned, like internships and jobs and my last semester at AUP. So that's something I'm really looking forward to. Well, I hope you guys had a nice time watching our Corona Diaries, and I hope to see you soon. Bye!
Hi, it's Sofia. Today is the 46th day of being in lockdown here in Paris, and this is the last episode of the Corona Diaries. The best part is just kind of being able to appreciate how quiet Paris gets at night. I grew up in the middle of nowhere, kind of. Something that I miss from back home is like how dark it gets at night and like the quiet of night, which can be like really scary at times, but it's comforting also. Paris at night gets super quiet. And because of the lack of light pollution at nighttime now, it gets a little darker, which is cool because I feel like Paris is never really dark. The worst part about quarantine is literally not being able to leave. Also the fact that I live in a pretty small apartment and a pretty confined space that also has like no view and no connection to the outside world. I have like this urge to just be in nature all the time now. And because I live in a city and also because all the parks are closed, I can't do that. So like even when I go outside, it's just like the city and I just want to like lay in a field of grass somewhere and just like sit in the sun. I think that would be so nice right now. Throughout the lockdown, I've learned art is such an important thing in my life that I feel like I took for granted and would always push aside and be like, ah, whatever, like I'll draw or paint another day, it doesn't matter. But having like the time now to just sit down and like express myself, it just is very stress relieving and it just feels great, and it's something that I'll definitely be implementing in my life a lot more once quarantine is over. And what I'm looking forward to in the future is being able to go to a park or go to nature and hang out with my friends and just sit in the sun and have a picnic and just all hang out, and for everyone to be together will be really nice.
So here we are, a month and a half into quarantine. I spent a couple of days thinking about what I want to talk about in this final video, and to be honest, I'm still not fully sure, so I'm just going to do the following. First of all, I'm going to talk about the things that I haven't gotten a chance to talk about yet. Like, for example, the 3rd week of quarantine, I got a really bad leg infection, and I couldn't walk or sit for 3 days. And going through something like that, while living alone in your apartment, not being able to go see a doctor is really, really scary. Another thing is I cut my hair the other day. Not just like trimmed it, I actually cut off quite a few inches and it turned out really good. So I think I don't ever want to pay $100 to go to a hair salon ever again. The last thing is I really miss physical contact with people. I've actually been able to really strengthen my relationships during this quarantine, not just my pre-existing relationships with family and friends, but actually making new bonds with people that I don't normally talk to. But when you spend a day having these nice conversations with people, it kind of really sucks to, at the end of the day, not be able to hang out with them or hug them or have a drink with them. In terms of what's going on right now, I am graduating in 2 weeks. I am going to be staying in Paris for master's, but leaving AUP itself is still really difficult. I met a lot of people that really understood me and my complicated cultural background, and I actually felt like I found a place where I really fit in. And it's really sad to say that I feel like I won't be able to find a community like that elsewhere. On the other hand, I am really excited for grad school. I get to stay in Paris, continue growing my roots here, and there are a lot of people that are going to be staying as well, and a lot of people that are going to be coming back that I really miss and I'm looking forward to seeing. So even though when deconfinement starts there are going to be a lot of restrictions, I am looking forward to passing a really fun summer with people that I haven't seen in a really long time. So my plan for these last couple of weeks is to just keep the same mindset that I had going into this, and that is to enjoy the things that have come out of this. And there definitely are plenty of things to enjoy.
This is my last video. Looking back on coronavirus, there's been a lot of parts that have honestly been very depressing. I miss Paris. I miss my baguettes in the morning and the wine and stuff. I miss, friends in school and going to class. But, there's been some positives though, for sure. I've been reading a lot. I get to spend time with my family, my brother, who I don't see quite often. The video diaries have been very helpful for me, kind of to reflect on everything that was going on and trying to process what I'm doing and what my goal should be. And with that, I leave you with goodbye.
Hi everyone for the last time. So the semester in quarantine is coming to an end, and I feel like everything's gonna change once again. I will have to find something new to occupy myself with, since I will have even more free time. And what I've learned during this quarantine is that I constantly need to keep myself busy, or otherwise I just become lazy and do nothing all day long. I still don't know what I'm gonna do or where I will be when everything is back to normal, and this uncertainty is still something that I need to learn to accept, because right now it's only giving me anxiety and stress. But there is also a nice side to this whole situation, which is being able to spend more time at home with my family. For now I'm still very much enjoying it, but I know for sure there will be a point when I'm just bored of it. So I just hope the confinement will be over before that happens.
Hello, my name is Hussain Al Ibrahim, and this is nearing the end of my journey in quarantine. It's a crazy situation, and you can't really fault anyone for the troubles that are going on. And throughout my time here, I just learned a lot of skills. I learned a lot of patience. I did learn a lot of work ethic. Like, a lot of things to learn when you're on your own and you have that time on your hands. But you also learn to try and schedule for yourself. And as for what I hope for the future, is just that I hope for, you know, obviously the well-being of everyone remotely, but I also hope that I'm able to go outside again, just, you know, see everyone again, meet everyone again, talk with them, see what their experience is like. Just a matter of talking, yeah. It's just a matter of talking with people and just socializing again, just breathing in that fresh air. But for the most part, I feel like that's it's gonna be a bit of time till that happens. But I'm looking forward to it. As long as we manage to overcome this corona business, well, I think we'll be fine.
Hi. So hopefully starting on May 11th, we're actually going to start relaxing the quarantine. So it's the end. Maybe. Kind of. I'm lucky in that I haven't had a terrible experience in quarantine, but I would say the worst part for me was the paranoia. At one point, I was concerned that every little thing I was feeling meant that I had it. And I was also scared for my family because I just didn't know what was going on over there. They're all the way in California. There have been a lot of conflicting directives, so that was scary. But thankfully, I'm not that paranoid anymore. The best part of the quarantine was definitely having the time to pursue creative things. Just the fact that I knew I had nothing on the horizon, it gave me the mental freedom. And I ended up making, I'm gonna show you. It's not done yet. But for Easter and for, I guess, May, I made a fake bouquet. I even made cute little paper mache eggs. I'm just really proud of this. I just hope that I can take that mentality back into my normal life. Personally, when the quarantine is over, I really am looking forward to seeing my family. Also, I'm looking forward to seeing nature and not worrying about curfews or if the police are gonna get me in trouble. On a bigger scale, I'm hoping that this is the beginning of a big change for the world. I think we've seen a lot of possible futures open up for us. We can see how we could take a turn for the worse with, you know, the advancement of mass surveillance or the spread of misinformation, but also we've literally shown ourselves what the world could look like if we did make a concerted effort to reduce our emissions, and what we can accomplish when we work in solidarity and we care for other people. You know, we don't have to go back to the way the world was. We can choose something better. And I really hope we do.
Hey guys, it's Leanna. I know that this week is the last week for the Corona Diaries, but I kind of just wanted to reminisce and go over the best and worst parts about quarantine for myself. I think that the best part was really, truly just taking a break. I always felt that I was really strained, and even though I'm still working a lot at home for school, it felt nice to kind of relax and do more at home that I haven't been able to do, like more art and reading, and being on my own has just been very nice overall. I'd say that the worst part of the whole quarantine experience was leaving quarantine in Paris to travel back home to be quarantined again in South Korea. It was nice to be with my family again, but the whole situation was really hectic. The Korean government and the US military in South Korea were really making sure that I was on top of everything. Although it was nice, it was kind of stressful a bit. As much as I'd want to go back to Paris as soon as possible, I know that it's just gonna take a minute. Hopefully things will get better, and I really have faith that it will. I really have to thank social media for giving me the opportunity to keep in contact with friends and family, because it is very vital for myself. I think for me, keeping in contact and socializing is very important for my own mental health, and it's really helped me get through a lot, and I really have to be grateful that that exists. So on to greater things. Would you like to say something? Okay.
Hi guys, it's Hera, and it's the last episode of the Corona Diaries. I never thought I would be saying this before, but I actually have some pretty good memories of being in quarantine. And you guys have seen it all. But just in case you forgot, let me take you back. Since the beginning of quarantine, I've been working out every single day, and this is something that I can never fit into my schedule in Paris. I've also had a lot of family time and enjoy long walks with my mom all around our neighborhood. And most importantly, and definitely most exciting for me, quarantine has made me a dog owner, which I am really enjoying. I'm grateful for all the memories I had during quarantine, but like most, lockdown has been a struggle. Being away from my boyfriend has really affected my mental health. Every single day, I seem to get more and more frustrated from just being able to FaceTime someone and not actually meet with them. School has also been tough because I'm a person that thrives in a social setting, so online classes has made it really difficult to focus. Although I have gotten everything done, it has definitely been hard to get to the point I am now. But I'm happy to say that there might be some light at the end of the tunnel, because lockdown is reaching its end in Florida, where I am, and lockdown will almost be over in France, where I'm trying to go. Of course, I'm looking forward to seeing my boyfriend. But while I'm in Miami, I'd like to spend some time with my friends from high school that I never get to see because of our crazy schedules. And that's all for me. Thanks so much for following my journey during lockdown.
Hey, it's Abby. I'm here to talk about my quarantine experience. I think the best part about quarantine for me has honestly been all the free time that I'm getting. I'm getting the chance to brush up on old skills and learn a new hobby. I find it really helpful for my mental health to always be doing some sort of new project or something creative every day. One of those projects has been scrapbooking, and that brings me to face the worst part about quarantine. I've been looking through old pictures of me and my friends from college and from high school, and I get to start thinking about what's going to be the new normal. It feels like quarantine is like a middle period between the past and the future, and it seems like we're never really going to go back to what used to be normal. I guess what I'm trying to say is that the worst part about quarantine has been the not knowing. Not knowing what's next, or when the pandemic is gonna die down, or what normal is going to be. Sitting around and not knowing and not being able to do anything has been the worst part for me.
Hi guys, it's Sopour, and today is April 30th. So the semester is finally coming to an end, and this is our last diary. Time definitely flies by so quick that I didn't even notice it, to be honest. And this entire time in quarantine, there are days I have forgotten that we're in quarantine. I'm so comfortable. It's crazy. I'm just in my apartment, but living life to the fullest. These past few weeks has been very eye-opening. I'm very grateful for this platform, and I'm very sad to see it go, especially since I'm leaving AUP as well. It's just a really great way to end the semester. At least I had this platform to express myself. For me, the hardest part of the past few weeks was coming to realization that I'm leaving and I'm not gonna get to see my friends and I'm not gonna see my professors. So it's really difficult to deal with. Something I never thought I'd be upset about. AUP has made a huge impact on my life. I never really realized that until the past couple of weeks. When you're confined in one place, you actually start thinking about all the things you take for granted. And that was AUP. I took for granted the campus and the people around me. And so that's something that I'm glad I got to learn. And in a year's time, I'll be returning back to Paris to graduate. So I'm looking forward to that, to seeing my friends, to seeing the professors and faculty members. It's gonna be really fun. And one last thing. So I like to say thank you to my professors, faculty members, and my friends for being on this journey with me at AUP. It's been a very long ride and it's coming to an end. So thank you and goodbye, AUP.
This guitar may be the best thing that's come out of the coronavirus episode for me. I'm not really a guitarist. I had never, not played a six string in a long time. So I bought it during lockdown. I loved its look and I love its sound. And in many ways it symbolizes what I've been doing, and I think many people have been doing during this lockdown, is exploring new things with a bit more time than usual within confinement. And in my case, it's also the confinement of my very limited technique. But I did learn something, I think, both music and about life. I think I learned about music that it doesn't have to be complicated to sound good. And maybe that can be transferred onto life as well. Life doesn't have to be complicated to still be good. But it wasn't all positive. I caught the coronavirus, had a couple of pretty grim weeks, 3 weeks really, that threw a shadow over my life. And but I got through it with the help of medicine and supplements and a wonder drug called codeine. And pretty soon I was back to my exercise regime and I was able to work again. And of course focus on the work with my students and the Corona Diaries. This is where these classes have been taking place, at least from my end. And what can I say at the end of the semester about this video journalism class that brought you the Corona Diaries vlogs? Well, in one word, it's been awesome. I did not think it possible that the class could step up to this degree, to produce such quality videos, to share their joys and their passions and their frustrations and their sadness over this period. And we may have strayed a little bit from what we thought the syllabus would be at the beginning of the semester, and but yet, I think we produced quality content. I think it's a big gift to the AUP community that this group has managed to give, and but also to themselves. I think everyone has shown fantastic growth, both personally, academically, and professionally. And I am, you can probably tell, I am very, very proud of this group, and I think the group should be proud of itself.